Oh my god, इतने सारे index funds. What the hell? And that too all low cost. This is crazy. कहाँ फंसा दिया यार सर ने?
ताने, sir.
Sir. This is not fair.
What do you want?
There are hundreds of index funds out there. I don't know what we want to select.
Oh, that's all fine, but your KRAs are not even close to being completed and we're 2 weeks away from the month. I'm really upset.
If you help me with this, I'll complete them today itself.
You have to complete all of it.
All of it, 100%.
Are you sure you can do it?
Oh, yes.
So here's what I'll do.
Okay.
I'll help you out in, what do you want again?
Index funds.
Okay, so we'll make a calculator, you'll be able to put the SIP amount, and you'll know exactly how to get to your goals, but you gotta finish your KRAs.
Done.
Okay, done, let's see.
Awesome.
So Tanya, you can't really just start investing and think one magic fund will make you all this money and all your problems are solved.
Why not?
Because you need goals and a strategy and you need to know time frames.
Goal hai na. I need money.
Oh, okay. So you manage Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I gave you 2 targets. First target, you have to increase the number of followers.
Okay.
We go from say 25,000 followers to 75,000 followers. Second target, existing audience ko you have to engage and tell them about taxes because tax filing season is happening.
Right.
You have to engage the existing audience. So what will your strategy be for these 2 objectives?
So for followership, of course, it's going to take a few months because it cannot happen overnight. It'll increase gradually. And engagement, we can work on a few posts that can start right away.
They have different time frames and you have obviously different strategies.
Yeah.
It's exactly like investing, but for money. So now let's suppose you make that big wad of cash that you'll make when you're 60 years old. Now finally you have financial freedom. Exciting?
No.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to have all this money when you're 60 because you want to have you want to have some money now and then a little more after a little more time, then a little more after a little more time. So you can spend it, right? What would you buy if you had to buy right now? What would you spend your money on?
Europe trip.
Europe trip. Okay, so that'll cost something. Let's say
1.5 lakhs or so.
Okay. What else?
Maybe a car in the future.
But you just drove this morning, no? Is that
That's
car?
my dad's car.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you want your own car. Anything else?
Maybe a house.
That sounds expensive. Anything else?
No, abhi that's all.
Okay, cool. Now tell me, do you think the house is going to be easier or the Europe trip is going to be easier?
Europe trip.
What can you save for the fastest in these 2 examples?
Europe trip.
So what you just did was goal setting. You set a bunch of goals of what you're going to do with money. So let's say you're about 25 right now.
Around.
I know you're a little older. But
Close to.
Around 25. And let me add another, let's say 30 over here, just so it's easy to remember. And then I'll go all the way over here till 60. Where should I put 40? Where should I put 50? Let's say 50 is somewhere here. And let's say 40 is somewhere here. Cool. Now, what you have to figure out is as your life is progressing, you don't want all the money to come here.
Yeah.
Right? You want enough money to live your life. So your first goal was Europe. Do you want it here?
No.
Here?
No.
Here?
No.
Here?
Yes.
Perfect. What else is your goal?
House.
So let's say around 40, you want a house. Can you give me the amount what the house would be? What the Europe trip would be?
1.5 lakh, 2 lakh.
So let me say 2 lakhs because if you're doing it a few years from now, the prices may go up a little bit. So let's say it's 2 lakhs. House, what do you think the price is going to be? Really tough to say, right?
Yeah.
A good way to start is to ballpark it. So are you going to buy a 10 crore house? No. Are you going to buy a 10 lakh rupee house? No. What do you think is acceptable?
I think by the time I'm 42 crore maybe.
2 crore maybe? Not sure. It's totally fine. The first thing you should do is write that number. जो लगे okay लग रहा है ये. And then we can rationalize it later. So for now, I'll put 2 CR. Now you should also add other goals over here. Maybe iPhone, but you already have that. The office gave one to you.
Personal.
Also personal. But you may add other goals over here as well.
Okay, now I understand goals, but what about index funds?
1 minute. Pehle, 1 minute. So let's suppose you start saving money every month for that Europe trip. First month you save 10,000. Second month you're up to
20,000.
Third month you're
30,000.
So in 2 years you're at 2,40,000. Basically in less than 2 years you save enough to get to this 2 lakh number. Now the thing is, 2 years is a very small time frame. Let's assume your goal was something else and it is a 4, 5, 7 year long time frame goal. The better way to do it is to actually invest a certain amount of money into an index fund, which we'll talk about right now, just for that goal.
Okay.
So you know that I'm going to invest in this fund for the next 7 years to hit X goal.
But like, how will I know how much time it requires for me to reach that goal? How do I decide all of those things?
But wait, how will you figure out what you'll need for these goals in 3 years, 5 years or 10 years? So for that, we have a future calculator. So first we have current price, then we have inflation, and then you have number of years. All you need to do is put in these numbers of what the current price is, leave the inflation as it is, and put in number of years. You'll automatically know what the future value is. For example, this home for 50 lakh rupees is 81 lakhs in 10 years. So you know you have to plan for 81 lakhs, guys. In the same way, you can do this for your goals on everything else you want. And once you know this, you can now know what could be your SIP amount or the monthly investment you'll have to make to reach that goal. But how will you do it? We have a SIP calculator for you. See your goals over here, put in the target amount. Remember, this is the inflation adjusted amount, okay? The future value. Then you put in the return on investment. We've assumed index returns 12%, and we're obviously assuming that you're investing for many, many years. And this brings us to a required monthly SIP. But I want you to notice we have international trip 1 and 2, but the return on investment is 8%. Can you tell me why? I hope you guessed it, that the investment period here is only 1 or 2 years. And you can't invest in the stock market for a short-term horizon. So we assume that you'll invest this in some form of debt. So we've also reduced the investment to 8%. And that's fine. The SIP amount will increase a little bit, but that's okay. You can find this calculator in the description below. Check it out. You can create a copy and put in your own numbers. All right, let's get back and see what Tanya has to say.
Okay, now that I have my SIP clear, where do I invest? Which index fund?
Everyone says invest in one index fund. What if we change this up a little bit? Made it a little spicier, a little interesting. So this is Nifty 50. So as you can see, this is Nifty 50 going up. Look at that. So it's gone from what level is over here?
4,600.
All the way to
24,000.
It's a lot. Now Nifty 50 is the top 50, right? What about like the next 50? Like not the top 50, like say 51 to 100. What do you think about those group of stocks? What's going to be different than the top 50?
I think they'll be slightly riskier.
Okay.
But like still good because 50 to 100 is not bad.
Yeah, correct. So actually that index also exists.
Okay.
So let's check this out, okay? So this is COVID fall. So I'm going to pick COVID's lowest point and then come to today's highest point, and I can see that the market went up
229%.
229%. Now what I'll do is I'll open the next 50, which is 51 to
100.
So just type Nifty next, or it's also called Nifty Junior.
Oh.
Junior. Now let's click on Nifty Junior. Now chart wise, of course, it looks very similar. Little different. Does it look a little different? It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's a little different, but what I'll do is, let me now measure from this COVID lowest point all the way to today. What's that?
306%. Higher than
Nifty Senior. Why do you think this happened?
Probably because these companies also have potential and they grew.
And they're smaller, so they have a smaller base relatively.
Yeah.
So chances of them growing a little faster is higher. Will it always happen? No, not at all. Is Nifty Junior more volatile, or does it move more than Nifty Senior, Nifty 50? Yes, it is. It also means that when the market falls, which one do you think is going to be more crazier from the two?
Junior.
Junior. And which will be more stable?
Senior.
Nifty 50. Correct. But the gains look nice. So how would you balance this?
Maybe you get majority in senior and a little amount in junior.
Yeah. It's not called senior, guys, but yeah.
Sorry.
It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah.
So you could mix and match it, right? So like you could do 80% of your SIP value in Nifty 50 and 20% in Junior.
Yeah.
If you like a little more risk, you could do 50-50, you could do 60-40, you could do 70-30. But the point is, you have a stable asset in the center which takes most of your money. So stability is there. In this case, it's Nifty. And then you have a smaller investment, which is slightly more riskier. Relatively speaking, it has a little more risk. So you could have a little bit of Nifty Junior as well. So it would look like this, right? So you'd have a center of, say, give me a number, 70%?
Yeah.
Okay, you comfortable with that? 70% does Nifty 50. And then you have a smaller investment of 30% in Junior. And this looks like a planet actually, right? This looks like a planet, this looks like a moon. This is actually called core satellite investing. Most of the money is the core, which is Nifty, 70%. And 30% could be Junior. You've actually invested in the top 100 companies in the country.
Yeah. For example, I'm doing this weight loss challenge right now.
Okay.
So 70% is diet and 30% is exercise. And that's how we reach our goal.
Yeah, that's right. And there's also a core involved. Bad joke. Yeah, correct. That's how you reach your goal. Exactly. So is this the best portfolio in the world? I don't know. Is this the best place to start? 100%. Because can you optimize this further? Of course you can. You can do a bunch of other stuff. The core can be completely different. The satellites can be completely different. In many cases, people have multiple satellites. In many cases, people do something completely off. But this is a great place to start as a first step.
Okay, I understand that I have to put in all the extra money that I have and put it in these two funds and I'm sorted.
What did you say? All your money?
Most my money.
Okay, so what we just did was this core satellite thing, right?
Yeah.
But you have to zoom out a little bit because there are a bunch of other asset classes as well. So Nifty is what asset?
Index.
No, equity. So when you're investing in Nifty, you're investing in equity, which is one of the highest risk asset classes out there. Okay. There are other asset classes as well. Can you name me a few?
Gold.
Yeah, gold. That's right. Real estate.
Real estate. Bonds.
Bonds, debt, correct?
Okay.
So what you ideally should do is, of course, when you start off, you can't really diversify into all these different because you don't have enough money. So I understand that. But over a period of time, you should have some money in different assets. Ideally, that they're not correlated to each other too much. So that, if the equity market completely plummets, all your wealth also doesn't go away with it, even if it's temporary. So maybe later on, because the 10 minutes are way over, we'll talk about these other asset classes and how you can divide them.
So don't just post on Insta, also post on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Correct. Hope you like this episode. If you have any questions, put in the comments below. Now you should also add other goals over here. Maybe iPhone, but you already have that. The office gave one to you.
Probably. Definitely.
Cool.
Surely. Follow kar lo please. Okay, thank you.